Or don't. That's cool too.
Craig!
What's up?
Craig, here we are. Money Shot 2.0, just coming off the heat of battle from last weekend's NHRL, the Norwalk Havoc Robot League event. The compound was there with you in full support. I'm sorry that I did not wear my Money Shot t-shirt. Instead, I'm wearing the compound.
I didn't either.
So how did it go this time with the new design of the Money Shot 2.0?
It was both exciting and disappointing. It was exciting in the sense that 2.0 worked. Disappointing in the sense that it didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
what worked well with the new additions? Because before you had the little fingers that were printed and 3D printed, and you even changed your filament too.
Yeah, I changed everything. So I got rid of all the plastic on the weapon assembly that melted and broke last time. Went with aluminum and titanium. Didn't melt, still broke, but in a good way. And then we changed the whole chassis print to TPU, much more durable, took several hits, and didn't phase the functionality of the bot whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest problem was I completely changed the way it drives. But with the new flexible material, my gears were not tight enough together, and everything just kind of stripped out. So that was big problem number one. Big problem number two was with the aluminum, I was getting excess friction, and my motors weren't powerful enough to spin the weapon, which resulted in a very poor spin-up time, and I had to go with a looser belt, which generated no torque behind the hit, so I was kind of just hitting and stopping, rather than hitting, sending them flying.
Yeah.
So a lot of changes. Physically, it's going to look exactly the same on the new version that I'm working on now, but we have a lot of internal changes, which I have here. These are all the mock-ups of the new changes I'm going to be making.
Oh, can you divulge any secrets about the motor, the drive motor for the weapon?
Yeah. So the motor I actually have version 1 motor in this one, which I was using. The version 2 motor, which spins twice as fast, did not have the power to spin the motor the way I wanted it to. So first thing I did was buy a massive overpowered motor to spin this thing.
Nice.
Second thing I did was I loaded the weapon up with twice as many bearings than it had the first time. So now this thing will spin all day long just like that.
Holy cow, it just keeps on going.
It'll keep going. So imagine that, but now spinning at we're going to be spinning, if I did my math right, which I probably didn't, we're going to be spinning close to 298 miles an hour.
Oh my god.
With this new setup.
Wow.
So 4 ounces spinning at 200. I have another thing in the works right now. It's not definite yet, but it'll be...
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, if my next idea, I have it on order. If it works, it's going to be 10 times scarier.
Oh.
But it's going to be awesome. And then as far as my drive issue that I was having with the strip gears, I eliminated the soft, squishy TPU that was surrounding my gear setup. And this is just a prototype. It's just PLA, but I'm going to make it out of a nylon or a carbon fiber, maybe even UHMW. And it's going to be a lot stiff, and it's basically going to be a drive pod.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be nice and stiff. It's going to maintain my gear mesh, hold my motor in place. And,
also quick to replace?
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be real easy to replace. I could basically have setups like this ready to go. And if, I break a wheel or something, I could just unbolt it, unplug the wires, and throw a new one in and be ready to go.
That's smart.
So I'm working on repairability. I mean, should we make it far in the tournament, you get 20 minutes to work on it. If I can rebuild the bot, I mean, this is a weapon pod.
Yeah.
This is a drive pod.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is all one piece.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of 10 bolts, 6 bolts, and plugging in wires.
Piece of cake. Holy cow. Pretty soon, I mean, you don't even you'll need a NASCAR pit crew just to jack it up and, go in.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Excellent. So if we would, let's recap your matches from last weekend over at the Norwalk Robot Fighting League. It was May the 6th be with us, because it was on that Saturday just after Cinco de Mayo.
May the bots be with us.
May the bots
That's
be
what
with
the
us.
slogan was. So we went in. I was excited. I got there Friday night. I got my bot to pass safety, even with a couple of the issues that it had. It was still functioning enough to pass all safety. Once I got it through safety, I went to town trying to fix some bugs. But the morning of, I found out ahead of time that I was facing a new high school team. I found out that team was bringing 12 robots, so I knew they were going to have a hard time coming into it, getting things ready with so many people, so many new builders. They called our first match almost right out the gate, and I readied up, and my opponent was nowhere to be seen. So they had arrived late with an unbuilt bot.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
One thing you don't want to do is arrive late. The second thing you don't want to do is arrive with an unbuilt bot.
It hadn't gone through safety at all,
Nope,
or anything
not
like
at all.
that before.
It came to the point where their team captain was walking around asking for available builders to help put their bots together.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So I was waiting, and their team captain would come up and say, "Oh, we're just finishing plugging this wire in." So we waited some more. "Oh, we need to go through safety." We waited some more. "Oh, we failed safety." There's a big no-no there. So now they got to go through their bot, find out what went wrong, fix it. So usually you wait for about 5 minutes, if that, for your fight. We were going close to a half hour at this point, and the officials said, "Hey, do you have a running bot?" They said no. They looked at me and said, "Hey, money shot, you win."
Oh, wow.
So,
W's a W.
a win's a win. It got
yeah.
us through into the tournament round. But it was actually, I think it was a good thing we didn't fight, because my problems were still not fixed. So then we had to wait a few hours for fight number 2, first round of the tournament. Literally, they called our fight, and I was still making a weapon belt to try to get our weapon spinning full speed. I got it made. We got it checked. It spun up nice and fast. Brought it downstairs. I found out I was going up against a bot called Double Trouble. Initially, I thought multi-bot, two robots against mine. I was like, okay, I could take on 2 smaller robots. No, this was a 5-pound walker bot with 2 massive horizontal blades. As soon as I saw this thing, I said goodbye to this little guy.
Yeah.
And we went in there. I spun up. He got stuck in the corner, and I just ran straight into him.
And destroyed him!
And effectively knocked out one side of his drive in one hit. But because I ran straight into his face, his weapon, he twisted up every little bit of the front end of this bot.
Oh gosh.
I had all these aluminum pieces were sideways. My weapon actually got a whole bend in it. But I got the win.
Yeah.
So it was worth it in that sense. So we moved on to round 2. I got my round 2 opponent, which was Dumb Drum. A typical beater bar spinner. Everyone runs them there. They are a killer.
Yeah.
This was a 5th grader running this one.
Yeah.
And I got my ass handed to me by a 5th grader.
But that's the thing. It was kind of like that was a nasty bot. So if you're going to lose to a 5th grader, let it be that bot that you lose to.
And
That
he had
was-
an opportunity to parade you around, and he didn't take it. So
That's the one thing I wish he would have done, was taking me for a victory lap around. I landed right on top of him perfectly. I couldn't move. He should have took me for a lap, but he didn't. But no, he drove really well, and that was the first real beating that Money Shot has taken. And functionally, nothing died on it. I just couldn't. He hit me so much, I just couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And eventually, I got stuck. I got stuck in a couple interesting places. I perfectly balanced like this.
Yeah.
And that used up my one unstick. So then when I got stuck on the wall the second time, I was out of luck. Unless I kept telling him to hit me, but he didn't.
Yeah.
That would have unstuck me, and I would have stayed in the fight. But
Yeah.
But no, that was. I talked to that kid and his father for a couple hours afterwards. At the end of the night, really awesome people.
And even your neighbors in the pit too, with with the Grim Reaper bot.
Yeah, so me and the pit table across from me, we wanted to keep fighting. We were both out of the tournament. We wanted to fight again, so we signed up for a grudge match, me versus him. And we wanted to learn more about our bots. I've never faced an undercutter. He only had that was his first event, so he only had a couple of fights before he was knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I duct taped a bunch of $100 bills to this thing. And all this damage that you see on it right now is actually from him, which you could see.
Oh my gosh! Wow, he certainly bent that.
He bent that. He bent this weapon blade a little bit. Took some chunks out. He took
Yeah.
some chunks out here.
Wow.
He went all the way down to the screws over here.
Oh my gosh.
And a nice chunk out of the back.
Yeah.
And then these wheels took a lot of direct hits, and you can kind of see the plastic.
Oh
chipping
yeah,
away.
sure enough. Yeah.
But the rubber stayed perfectly solid, so these wheels work really well.
That's good. That's good.
And get the little money shot. I don't know if the camera can see it.
Yeah, there you go.
This is money shot right
Yeah,
on the back of the
yeah.
bot. But,
So going into when's the next event scheduled? Are you planning to do that one?
the next event scheduled, it's actually going to be a 2-day event. It's June 24th and 25th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not definite. I definitely want to. I'm probably going to sign up just to reserve a spot,
Yep.
but I'm not guaranteed going yet.
And you don't even know, like, if you did sign up for a spot, you don't know what day you would fight on or would.
Yeah, I'm not sure how their 2-day event works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they fight on both days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's one event stretched over both days or if it's separate events. I'm not sure how it works. I'm going to try to find out more information.
Sure.
But I want to go just because it's awesome, and I want to. Hopefully, I get version 3 ready.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
definitely.
Deadly setup that I got going on, because I'm excited for it.
Well, you know, I mean, with the compound, we're always down to clown over at the NHRL. That's right. That clown that ran the clown robot, she captured my heart, and hopefully she's there again the next time we're there. But
I'm sure she will be. She was talking about. I think she was borrowing someone's bot, so I think she was talking about building her own for the next time.
Oh, all right. There's potential.
Mark, you need to build a robot.
That's too much for me. You know, I've got to focus on one thing. I got to capture Craig and the essence of the money shot whenever he's competing.
You
So,
would want to capture the essence of the funny.
Craig, thanks again for coming by. Thanks for the update. And then we're going to have, we've already got some pictures up on the Patreon. We got some video footage going to be uploaded there as well. So with that, I think we're ready to continue the action, taking out that grounded young black dragon.
Turn 4, folks. Turn 4. Take it to the